Shalom, all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Hashem Kodash. My name is Yakalba from Plaintables Philadelphia, Philly. Sticking together. Probably gonna name this quick way to F up your life. Getting a marriage license. Going to the government, getting a marriage license. This is for brothers, it's not for people in the world. They're most of them are remedial anyway, so they ain't gonna get it. But if you if you are awake, then this lesson should resonate with you as a man. All right. It says U.S. birth rates continue to decline. All right, so a quick way to F up your life is to get a marriage license. All right. Marriage, according to the Bible, which is our faith, our heritage, is not the way Esau, Edom does it. All right. And mainly our women are bound to Satan in a lot of ways. And that's one of them. And as you get older, brothers, you're going to have women that are going to try to trap you with children that you didn't produce and that they didn't require marriage before. They're going to try to trap you because they're failing in life, they're losing, and they want you to be the cleanup man. All right, don't fall for it. All right, so I'm gonna let this video play. Let me read the scripture first. It says 2 Timothy 2:4, no man that warreth entangleth himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who have chosen him to be a soldier. All right, you shouldn't be trying to think about going to the government and signing these damn contracts. Here's some advice: sign as least amount of contracts with this system with Satan as possible. You know, you gotta sign a contract for your license. You gotta sign contracts to work. All right. When you go get in drugs from governments and, you know, drug companies, you got to sign contracts. All right. This is a contract you don't have to sign. All right. You don't have to potentially destroy your finances and your mental health because some bitch with 2 kids says she requiring marriage now after she already had 2 with some dude that didn't marry her with a marriage license. All right. Don't fall for it. All right. Entangle. Well, you get the picture. Don't get involved with these certain contracts. All right, I'm up. Mute the mic.
Joy, what did you think when you heard about this? Was it a surprise?
Well, you know, Whoopi, there's that pesky biological clock that goes tick-tock, tick-tock, and it's like, it doesn't apply to men. I mean, Clint Eastwood at the age of, 94 now, can still produce a child, not with Betty White, but with, let's say, I don't know, J-Lo, or a young girl. But women do not have the luxury that men have. So we have to squeeze everything into like 20 years, basically. And it's not easy to do. Katharine Hepburn, I don't know if you remember this, Whoopi, years ago, she said, women cannot have it all, and we can't. It's hard to do, especially now. The economy is very different from what it was in the 50s. Both people have to work. It's expensive to have childcare in this country. You can't have a career and stay home at the same time unless we're in the pandemic, some people have been able to do it, but that's not going to last. So, women are saying, look, I'm going to just not have children or have one like I did. Right. Because I realized very quickly that I could not go be a comedian, and with the stresses and the amount of time you have to put into something like that and have a bunch of kids, it's impossible. So that's the choices now. And maybe it's for the better. Maybe the world has too many people as it is.
Well, Sonny, the birth rates have been dropping for about 90 years. Are you surprised to hear that? And do you think women are just making up their minds on how they want to live their lives as opposed to what people feel they should be doing?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think women are just making up their making up their minds as to how they want to run their lives and live their lives. I think many women are empowered. I had my first child at 34 and my second at 38 because I was having fertility problems. And I think, as to Sarah's point, certainly that is part of the equation. But if you read the article and in the New York Times, that's where this subject came up. Many women were saying, I'm following my career. I want to do that first. A lot of the fertility rate, the birth rates that are dropping in areas where there's a robust employment rate for women. And so I think some women are just choosing career over having a child, and that used to be verboten at one time, and now it isn't. And so this is a trend that is just continuing now. You see a lot of women are the earners, right? The higher wage earners of their families in their household. And it's no longer a bad thing to say, I don't want to have children, or I'm going to wait to have children, or I'm going to have children on my own. I think women are doing it on their own terms.
All right, so you get the point. You on one hand, they're putting it off for their career, and on the other hand, they're having children, and they're requiring marriage now. All right, so pull from that what you will. All right. So you men that are in the faith, that are in the truth, don't get trapped by either one. Don't get trapped by the single mother with 2 kids, and she requires marriage now. Don't get caught up by this career woman that's in massive debt, and the only reason she requires marriage now, and so you can pay her damn bills, because she's effing failing. All right, and she needs some of that burden taken off of her. All right, and she's gonna give you fucking nothing, but probably a child. All right, if she can still have children, depending on your age, depending on her age, excuse me. All right, because you have children up till you die. She got until, most women, until their mid-30s. If you are extremely healthy and you do things to increase your fertility as a woman, then you can stretch it beyond, into your 40s. But that's not typical for most women. But they like to point out the exception rather than the rule. Let's move on now. It says 2 Timothy 2:4. No man that warreth entangles himself with the affairs of this life, that he may please him who hath chosen him to be a soldier. Yeah. She is not your focus. Going to the government, getting a marriage license, being a power couple, you ain't got nothing to do with that. Leave that shit in the world. All right? Leave it. And if 2 Timothy 2:5, and if a man also strive for the masteries, yet he is not crowned, except he strive lawfully. All right? It is very unwise to tie yourself where the government can bind you into court and sue you because you signed a contract with a woman. It's a stupid contract. All right. The government can literally bind you and drag you into court and put you in underpayment because you willingly signed a contract. All right. And virtually every woman in America is in the world. All right. The majority of them, and if they ain't the truth, a lot of them have one foot in the world and one foot out the world. All right. So what's the advice? Don't sign the contract, no matter what. You sign that contract, the government can bind you and drag you into prison. All right. This is census.gov. See how marriage and divorce rates are. Divorce rates in your state stack up. This is, for American brothers that are in America. I don't know how it is over in, in UK and other countries. All right. Both marriage rate and divorces December 7th, 2020. And divorce rates in the United States declined from 2009 to 2019. Of course, divorce rates are going to decline because the marriage rates decline. So less people are getting married. That means less people are going to be getting divorced. All right. It says how It says at the same time, the U.S. divorce rate. In 2019, there were 16.3 new marriages for every 1,000 women aged 15 and over in the United States, down from 17.6 in 2009. Right? Yes, at 15. All right. It didn't say 18 or 21 or your old ass age. All right. It's at 15 and up. All right. At the same time, all right. So what's that tell you? That means most people don't even sign the marriage license anyway. Most people don't get a marriage license. All right, that's only a certain people that believe in that contract. All right, you in the faith, you don't believe in that contract. You know where it leads. You know it's an asinine contract to sign. All right, your brothers should have your shit together or getting your shit together. All right, and remember, Babylon America is going to be completely wiped off the face of the earth. All right, that's the most important thing, not some damn contract between you, your wife, and the government. All right, Babylon's going to be erased from the face of the earth. All right, the work. All right, it says. All right, I think I got a little chart down here. All right, so. We got we got 2009 there were, so it's pretty much saying the same thing. All right, you got by state. I think I clicked that right. All right. To 2019, there were 4.6 fewer marriages per 1,000 women aged 15, all right, and over in Delaware compared to the United States. So I think Delaware has the lowest marriages, the lowest marriage licenses. Says that there were 2.3 fewer marriages. All right, if I'm reading that correctly. All right, so this is where most of the people are at in America anyway. They're up here in the Northeast. You got some scattered in the South, in the West, but just the most dense area part of the country. State statistically lower in the green. All right, yeah, definitely should be lower in California. All right. So, what is marriage according to the Bible? All right. Remember, the uninitiated, the person that's not in the truth, actually believes that going to the government for a marriage license is what marriage is in the eyes of the Most High God and His Son Yahweh Shai. That could be the farthest thing from the truth. If you're not if you're in the faith and you believe that, that means you're not actually in the faith. All right, because marriage, according to the Bible, doesn't have anything to do with going to get permission to get married. All right. So we're gonna start. Oh, I have a word here. Covenant, Barayath. So that's what they do. They go to the government and they get an alliance, a friendship. The right hand is Satan. Pledge, an agreement, all right, from the government that they can become man and wife, and there are certain things that come with that. All right, some good, and if it ends, it's all bad. That's why it's that's why it's a bad contract, because if it doesn't, so if it's good, you benefit. All right. Well, if you last, you benefit. Some negative things also, but if it ends, then it's all bad. Save that you can actually leave the person. All right. Not a wise thing to do. All right. You want to put the brakes on your mental. You want to destroy your mental health. Just possibly get murdered. Have to start your life over again. Go to the government, get a marriage license. All right. 1 Corinthians 7:28. This explains a little bit about marriage. All right. And Paul, he wished that every man could be like him, but we know we're Israelites. We have high testosterone, so every couple of days you gotta get that out of you, all right, or you gonna go crazy. All right. So it'll be more beneficial for you to get a wife. All right. Now, that does not mean going to the government to get a license. 1 Corinthians 7:28. But if thou marry, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin marries, she hath not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh, but I spare you. Yeah, you're going to have little issues here and there. Well, it shouldn't be mainly bad. It should be good. Alright. But 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. All right, meaning that if you have a wife, you can't make her your focal point. All right. They cannot be a focal point. Your focal point first is the ministry, our ministry. All right, preaching the gospel. So, but this I say, brethren, that the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none, and they that weep as though they weep not, and they that rejoice as though they rejoice not, and they that buy as though they possessed not. So be prepared to lose. All right. And they that use this world as not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passes away. Yeah, so Babylon, America is going to be completely destroyed. The life as we know it is going to change, and we're going to be translated into the kingdom. All right. So knowing that, it's unwise to build much here, or at least to set your heart upon it. All right, because you got certain Israelites that when they get a wife, they set their heart upon that woman. When they lose that woman, they lose their mind. Some of them commit suicide. All right. They'll start rearranging their life in the truth to accommodate a woman. And that's a fast way to fuck up your life. And guess what? When you fall out the faith, the Lord is going to destroy you. All right. All right. Then it goes back that remain unmarried. But, if you have to take a wife, take a wife. All right. Same thing for the woman. If you can hold off the urge, hold off. But more than likely, that's not going to be the case. You want to want to marry. All right. And marry. You got Gamaliel, to lead a marriage, to take a wife, to get married, to give oneself to marriage, to give a daughter in marriage. All right. Wed either sex. All right. So what is marriage according to the Bible? All right. Marriage. One of the first scriptures is 24 and 65. That's actually really descriptive. In Genesis 24 and 24, and they started putting these little headlines on there. Isaac marries Rebekah. All right. Rebekah is a Hebrew name. It's not an Edomite name. All right. It's a so-called black name. All right. Rebekah, Becky. All right. Says and Rebekah 24 and 64, Genesis. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off her camel, for she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, "It is my master." Therefore she took a veil and covered herself. All right, because she was being, modest, shamefaced. How, a righteous woman is supposed to act. All right, Becky. And the servant told Isaac all the things that he had done. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife, and he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death. All right. So that's how Becky became Isaac's wife. All right. There was no going to the headmaster or going to the governor, going to the village leader for permission to get married. All right. And the reason why women today want to get a marriage license is so they have a backup plan if they decide to leave, so they can still get financial, a check every month. They don't actually get married because they actually love the person. They get married as a backup plan and for you to clean up their problems. All right. I'm talking about the ones that are have careers, the ones that make money. They want a backup plan. They want an extra check. All right. Yeah. Where we at? All right. So we get that. And we got Exodus 22 and 16. Sundry, different, right? Various kinds. 22 and 16. And if a man entice, attract, or tempt by offering pleasure or advantage. Yeah, you build yourself up. You're appealing. You tell her things about, your life, how good you are. It says, and if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, that is not promised to another man, and lie with her, has sex with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife. So when you look up endow, we got it's not mahar. It's yamaharna. Yamaharna. It's a different word. All right, you put a letter in front of it, take a letter off. It's a totally different word. All right, yamaharna. All right. So what does that mean? It says to obtain or acquire by paying purchase price, to give a dowry, to obtain by exchange. So the husband would pay the father of the wife or the bride money to release the wife, the daughter. All right. There we go, right there, mahar. All right. 21. So we got Exodus 21 and 10. All right. So this is more laws on how to maintain your wife or wives. It says Exodus 21 and 10. If he take him another wife, all right, meaning if you have more than one wife, because there's no law that says in the Old Testament or New Testament that a man is supposed to only have one wife. There is no law that says that. Now there is advice given about a bishop, all right, which a bishop is a head, all right. He recommends you to have one wife. All right. Says if he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall not diminish. All right. So if you have two wives, here in the margin gives you some what it means. It says her flesh, he shall not afford her only sufficient quantity of food as before. All right, meaning he's supposed to maintain the same amount of food for the first wife. All right, but of the same quality. So if you were going to certain places that you like to go to as an Israelite man. You're supposed to continue to take your first wife to the same places, same food, same raiment, which is clothing, whatever you supply. She is not fed like a common slave with sufficiency of bread, vegetables, milk, etc., but with her customary supply of flesh and other agreeable articles of food. Nowhere does it says steak 48, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Birkin, the shit that bitches on the internet talk about. It doesn't say that anywhere here. All right, basic needs, and they're working anyway, so they can buy their own clothing and food. And if you're taking completely care of them, then they get what you give them. Maintain them how you see fit. All right, it's supposed to be of decent quality. It says of the same quality there. All right. There. All right, this is my last scripture. This is Deuteronomy 22 and 29. Again, what's marriage? All right. Then the man that lay with her, 22 and 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, you're technically supposed to be a virgin, because we're all committing adultery right now by laying with women that are not a virgin, meaning they've never been penetrated by another man. Unspotted. That's the word for virgin. It means unspotted with the semen of another man, which is not betrothed. All right. If a man find a damsel that's a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, meaning to seize, hold her, arrest, and have sex with her, and lie with her, and they be found, then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father, or the wife's father, 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her. He may not put her away all his days. All right. So that means your wife is your possession. You take care of your possession, like you would take care of your own flesh. All right. So y'all become united together. All right. If you have one wife, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, how many, they become a part of you. They become your flesh. All right. So you would treat them like you would treat your own flesh. All right. It says, a man shall not take his father's wife. All right. So you're not supposed to sleep with your father's women, nor discover his father's skirt. All right. Meaning, your father's nakedness, your father's wife's nakedness. All right, because her nakedness belongs to the husband. All right, her nakedness does not belong to the public and does not belong to Instagram. All right, your wife's nakedness belongs to the husband. All right, a man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover his father's skirt, meaning discover his father's wife's nakedness. All right, it's why women ain't supposed to be dressed with provocative clothing, with clothing showing their skin. All right, walking past you saying shalom in a tight ass red dress. that has happened. At camp. Shalom. All right, so that's it. That's the lesson. All right. Don't sign that contract. All right. That's not to your benefit. It's not your focus. All right. I hope you were edified. Shalom.